everybody, it's Brian Wilkerson from MA-Motorsports. We are going to do something a little different in this video. I'm basically just going to give you a rundown of the projects we have going on around the shop and what we've been working on the past week or two. That way you guys can get an idea of what all it is that we do here besides just what you see in the other videos, because we do work on a pretty diverse lineup of projects. This LS swapped RX-8 came to us a little while ago, and it was basically started, left from another shop that didn't finish it for whatever reason, and so we basically buttoned it up. We got it running, driving, had to redo some of the stuff that was there, and basically finish a lot of stuff. There was a lot of things that weren't done, a lot of plumbing that we had to do, and some wiring. It's running a Haltech. It does have a cam and some other stuff in it, so this thing should be pretty sweet car, actually. Pretty fun. Look at this. You probably don't even recognize this car with a not caved in roof, but believe it or not, this is the car that I took to Drift Appalachia. It is really ready to go. It's all put back together. I had my buddy Nate do the body work, and this roof, fresh paint, all good. Fresh glass, look at that, be able to see out of this thing. I bought an entire donor car, and I got doors, which aren't exactly the same color silver, but they're gonna work, and fenders, and whatever else I needed. I bought it because I was thinking we might have to replace the whole roof, but we didn't. He fixed it, so that's nice. He repainted this quarter panel for me because it had a pretty big dent here that I wasn't worried about, but he did it for me, and I really appreciate it. So yeah, this thing ready for action again. Crazy, huh? You might recognize this car. This we actually did a whole video about just this car, John's 370Z Fast Intentions twin turbo, makes about 800 horsepower. This is a really sweet build. Got the Recaros in there. Sweet car. More on this car, just check out that video in our channel. It's just here for some basic maintenance. Hasn't been here in a while, but it's back for a couple little touch-up things. Got these really sweet AP Racing big brakes on it now. Very cool. Devin here working on getting our client Mark's DR30 Skyline running. He brought this to us with an FJ20 in it, and we put an ECU on it, we got it running, and then the sleeve got a hole in it.
Piss. Big pissing.
So it was really tough to get parts for. We were talking about swapping the engine in. It's going to maybe be an SR20, but he opted for a Honda motor, and we're totally cool with that. So we swapped this. It's a K20 Type R engine using an RTEC manifold. And this is a Garrett G3660, right? Yeah. G3660, all titanium intercooler piping. This thing's gonna be a lot of fun. Still running the same link ECU that we put on it previously. We'll probably do some more on this car once we get it running, which should be any day now. This car, the Shop R32 GTR, this was in our last video we uploaded. Go check that out for the latest updates on it. We haven't done much to it this week. Shane's working on mounting the Motec dash in it, but otherwise not much else going on. Underneath here, this car was dropped off a few weeks ago, belongs to a fellow named Eric. It came to us with the K20 bolted into it and some nice tie intercore pipes already done, but we are finishing it out, kind of seeing it through. Changed a couple things, doing some plumbing. There was no plumbing here. So any plumbing that wasn't already done, we're doing. Turbo plumbing, wastegate line plumbing down there. We had to modify the oil pan for an oil drain, mounted a power steering pump, found a belt, etc., etc. Chris made this really cool little pill-shaped power steering reservoir, and we plumbed all that for him. We also got him a Link plug-and-play ECU, necessary sensors, and it's running and driving now. We just need to get time to button up a couple things and get it on the dyno. This S13 was sitting for a long time, and it is here for a bunch of tune-up work, some new brake parts. We're putting a handbrake in it, and basically quite a few new suspension items as well. Basically just bringing it back up to date so we can get back to enjoying it. This car behind me, we originally built back in 2016, 2017, give or take, and the original owner sold it. The new owner, Gab, is a super cool guy. He's also Canadian, which is where the original owner hailed from. And they changed a couple things on it, and it's back to us, which I'm very happy to see for some even further updates. Got the inside proper protected here because he wanted the radiator, a bigger radiator relocated in the back. And so you can see here, Marco built this rear firewall and duct. It uses a real big CNR drift spec radiator. All this stuff fits in there quite well. Modified his existing window. And the radiator will go there. The fuel cell used to be located back here, but sadly it's not going to work out. So we're going to get him a smaller one and hopefully not relocate it, but just kind of give him some more space. We also installed one of our quick change subframes and the updated WiseFab arms. So this diff sits a lot higher than it did in the subframe that we made many years ago. And so that also kind of got in the way of the fuel cell and stuff. So more on that later. Yeah. This little Fiata, Bob recently did a bunch of upgrades to, turbo upgrade, along with I think some suspension stuff. This S14 drift build belongs to Jared Heckman. We have one video up on it now, and we'll probably have another one up shortly. It is just hibernating for now. We're going to get back to it shortly once more parts and such keep flowing. Marco's IS300. I don't think he shares enough about this thing, but it's pretty cool. It has rear mount radiator he did, and this really trick duct work, and that firewall there. Shane 3D scanned it for him, and Marco made these cool panels. So really nice radium fuel cell mounted down in there. This is going to be one bad IS300. Another S14 shell. This one is for sale. Basically, it's a really straight, rust-free S14 shell, and we're picking away at it a little bit at a time, putting some real pro-level modifications to it. It's got a cage. Rear structure is going to get made. Got the rear fenders cut. We're going to probably put one of our Ilaria Tech transmission tunnels in it as well, and whatever else it needs. Obviously, the price of this thing goes up the more we work on it, but it would be a really good project for somebody. Can you guess what kind of car this rear mount radiator setup is in? Pretty tough guess. I'll give you a hint. It also has a quick change in it. Really sweet exhaust. Man, diff isn't in there, but this is an Infiniti M45, and it is blocked in by a bunch of cars right now, so I can't show it to you, but it is going to be pretty sweet. We did a full cage in it, a bunch of other chassis work, radiator in the back, twin turbo VK45. These things came with VK45 engines. So the turbos were like mounted up high, and we mounted them lower and moved the exhaust to go out traditional way. Added the wastegate tubes, did put some sheet metal back in there because that was all cut out. And we're just doing other miscellaneous things to it. We're obviously going to plumb it all. Right now we're waiting for his built engine to get here, and then we can finalize a lot of this work and get back to some of the chassis stuff as well. 2JZ S14, we've been picking away at little by little. Another thing that came from another shop, and we're going to finish it. Pretty clean Z32 twin turbo is here for Link ECU install and tuning. That is in the works. Nice car. I do really like Z twin turbos. FDRX7 belongs to a client, drift car, LS powered. He drives the hell out of it. Came here for some suspension work, regular touch-up work, and we are also going to make him an aluminum dash. So like a race dash, real basic. We put a shift boot in it for him because he never had one at all before. It's a nice SFI shift boot. We used one of our Ilaria door pulls for a hood release. As I was saying, LS powered. We didn't do this swap, but we've done a little maintenance to it. We redid some of his cooling system. We plumbed a nice bleed system in here with one of the Ilaria coolant header tanks. Like individual bleed off of every corner of the cylinder heads. That works really well. This is my R33 GTR that is just sitting here without a cover on it. That's my fault, but this thing's beautiful. Real clean E36 street / drift car is on the dyno at the moment. Link ECU, and we also did a bunch of other work to it. He started it, we're finishing it. We did some miscellaneous plumbing, wiring. Obviously, we're going to tune it, and we did like some exhaust work and other things to it. Should be a lot of fun car for him. This is a 2021-ish, I believe, Ford Explorer ST, and it is here for a custom turbo kit build. We are, so it had a turbo kit built on it. We are redoing it at the customer's request. We are putting the turbo up front and center here. It is a G35 1050, 3.5-inch downpipe. And we're making the turbo manifold, downpipe, all the piping and plumbing and everything. Should be pretty interesting. This F80 M3 is here for a differential install. He dropped off the car and Ford 88 out of an Explorer. This particular one is built, and we are going to mount it up in the factory subframe. So that's the next step for this. We'll probably update you on this one. It's a pretty cool car. I don't know if you can guess what engine this is. Very cool though. Our plumbing station toolbox. I'm gonna have a whole video on this and some plumbing stuff in a week or two. Back here in the fab area, as always, a quick change subframe coming to life. This one's for a 370Z. However, we also have E36 coming up real soon here. This is going to be a new application for us, so stay tuned. If you have an E36, check it out. It's going to be a really sweet piece. And there's our dummy diff. Shop area could use some organization, but we've been busy. That's a wrap for this shop update and project update. If you would like to see any details on any of these particular projects, let me know in the comments. I would be happy to do individual videos on cars if they warrant the length of a whole video, but if not, I can do a short or something. So let me know what you guys want to see, and I will gladly post some more info about them. Thank you for watching the channel. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll get you guys updated with more stuff, and we'll have a little more hands-on work in the next video also.